Okay, so I wanted to make another reaction video. So this is from a buddy of mine whom I actually really do trust his opinion in Call of Duty. He's been doing this for quite some time, but he's actually a good friend of mine. His name is Jordan, or Espresso. This will be, I think, the first reaction that we've done on this channel where it's actually someone else's video. So yeah, so I'm gonna link Jordan's information down below, so you can go and drop a subscribe for him and his channel. This is titled "I Played Black Ops 7." And this is what you need to know. So I am very interested from someone that actually got hands on versus just kind of us seeing things. More so I'm like an outside looking in versus an inside projecting out type energy, I guess. So yeah, so I'm definitely excited to watch this video. So please like, comment, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you guys think so far about Black Ops 7 and all of what you've seen, and are you gonna try it out? So let's take a peep at this right now.
So, Black Ops 7's reveal is here, and today we're taking a look at multiplayer details that you should know. First, I have to clarify a bit about this video and how the presentation will go. I did play Black Ops 7, but legally speaking, I'm not allowed to discuss specifics of that until post-multiplayer reveal. No clue if I'll be invited to that just yet or not, but also would prefer to dodge any legal trouble. Additionally, having had these discussions in the past, I think we should also note that historically, that hasn't been any indictment of the game's build or anything like that. It's just truly because the reveals and plans are big money events, and as cool as I think it'd be, they're not gonna let me or anyone else out there have a world premiere. But
absolutely
I played,
not.
the build is out there, and we're not too far from seeing it as a community.
Those NDAs
Additionally, today
are crazy.
is all just information. Do with it what you will. I'm not attempting to push any perception one way or the other, just hoping to inform you and perhaps clarify things that you may have seen leak already or that may be brand new, seeing it for the first time. And finally, the footage on screen is very clearly Black Ops 6. We weren't able to capture any content. That will be coming at the multiplayer reveal, and this video was made ahead of time for the embargo time, so I didn't have access at the time of recording to official assets like trailers, campaign footage, and whatever else is shown off at Gamescom and Opening Night Live. The rest of our coverage will have more relevant B-roll. Today's all about the information though. What we can and will talk about though is a lot of things. In this one, I think we're going to focus on a lot of the high level things and work our way down in subsequent videos because there is a lot to break down and a lot to digest. We just went from weeks of Battlefield content and now things are cooling down in that realm and a calm before the release storm there, but we've got at least the next 5 to 7 days scheduled for Black Ops 7 content of things that we learned from Treyarch at this event that I think you should know. So make sure to drop your thoughts, drop a like if you guys enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay video with all things Black Ops 7 and other FPS content here on the channel. I'd love to have a community. But anyways, let's start out with an overview. A lot of this can set the tone for perhaps things that maybe I can't say if you can like piece things together maybe. It's connecting narratively Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 2. These games were mentioned to be made simultaneously, utilizing core functions and mechanic sets while deviating at a core to differentiate the two, but Treyarch heavily emphasized Black Ops 2 all throughout our presentation, dubbing it Black Ops 2 Evolved and iconic Black Ops 2 gameplay and content reimagined. All throughout you can see design elements tying the two together, but you have to consider the recent unified engine push and again, these games being made simultaneously. It's not a bad starting point for like understanding the product at large, but as for the multiplayer specifically, at a top level, you're going to see global progression for everything, linking literally everything. So multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, and for the first time, campaign will all have XP progression. And that's something we're going to break down a little further in another video, but there's an end game to campaign that allows you to actually rank up basically everything.
Do you guys think that's a good idea? I actually love the ideology of being able to have progression across all modes in the title. I think that sounds so cool. Like that gives you something to grind for so much. I love that. I want to be able to have a Call of Duty where at the end of the year I say fuck. Like I hate I had to go to this event, or I hate I had to go and do this. I missed this week of grinding, so I didn't get this camo, or I didn't get that challenge completed, or something like that. Something that was like a limited time thing. Like the fear of missing out, I want that in Call of Duty. So that I want to keep coming back and playing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that like having like all of these things that that you can progress with it's huge. It's a big deal.
Your weapons, your soldier rank, your battle pass XP, all of that can be done in campaign. Plus, multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. So for the first time, you actually have 4 main pillars of the game all going towards one progression system. That's awesome. Your sort of top level piece for how multiplayer and everything will work. But as for your core systems, let's talk more foundational things now, going from top to bottom up. Omni movement was mentioned to have next level Omni movement, where you had a wall jump plus a combat roll to mitigate fall damage, which is not in core 6v6. We'll get to sort of modes in a second, but your 6v6 isn't going to have enough high of fall damages to need that combat roll to mitigate it. And you can also move while mounting. This returns from Vanguard here back in Black Ops 7. Those are new core mechanic sets, whereas everything else seems to be the same for what we know, kind of continuing on. There are combat updates where some of the core mechanics, such as tac sprint, that's out by default now. It will actually require a perk, but you're back to the standard sort of Black Ops Cold War running speed and what we've seen in the past. So tac sprint, nice to see, I think, out. I think it might be one of those things that when it was introduced,
it sucks because like they have a build right now of Modern Warfare 4, which is probably in like a pre-alpha build where tac sprint is in the game. Tac sprint is in the game, and so are doors, and that's in Modern Warfare 4. So we already know about 2026 right now. That's obviously subject to change. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's in like a pre-alpha, if even that, if even that.
Produced. Felt great, was nice, but now after 5 of the last 6 games, including it, I think a lot of people might be burnt out on it, and we're coming back to the other side of the pendulum where people are okay with and want it down. Additionally, you can double up on certain attributes like movement, recovery, sprint to fire, faster reloads, and things like that with perk and attachment combos. They stressed a bit in our briefing that things like reloads, you can now not only just get benefits from your attachments, but also your perks, and they'll compound on top of each other. So let's say an attachment shaves off a quarter second of a reload speed or something like that. If you have a perk as well, on top of that, it could shave off another quarter. So you have a half a second reload faster compared to a base weapon. One thing they mentioned that's going to be interesting with the types of different movement and mechanic sets out there is there's no aim down sight while sliding, diving, or wall jumping that you have to opt into with a perk. The loadout system got a slight tuning adjustment as well, where you firstly have a new system called Overclock. Simply put, think the customization from Advanced Warfare on things like streaks, but in a specialist from Black Ops 3 type of way where you only have 2 different options to work towards. I'm not saying that specialists are returning, but in that same sense where you can pick one or the other. The thing they detailed for us as these 2 options was active camo as a field upgrade, which, yes, it's a thing. Yes, I'm also a little concerned about that because from what they showed us in the briefing, it's a lot more camouflaging than Black Ops 3's version. But Overclock option 1 is a faster charge speed, whereas option 2 is the ability to recloak after firing. So whereas you'd burn the...
Dog, the people that have not played BO3 are gonna come over here and get shit on by someone wearing active camo if they don't like actually nerf it. If they're like damn near invisible, bro, people are gonna be mass reporting the hell out of people, bro. I'm telling you, people are stupid. I'm telling you.
Remaining time on cloak if you fire to reveal yourself. If you have this overclock option, it resumes until your still active timer completes. Like the timer's still counting down as you're shooting, but once you're done firing, it doesn't just negate the rest of that. Combat specialties returned, though changed a little bit here at this now, where we have 3 additional combat specialties, and the core is a bit different, now requiring only 2 matching perks of a category, but in the main 3 slots. So taking a perk greed, if it were to exist in this game, would not grant you 2 specialties if you had 2 perks of the same category and another 2 perks of the same category. It's only based off those first core 3 perks you have. The new specialties are Overwatch, Scout, and Captain, where Overwatch is a support and offensive hybrid where you earn assist score from certain kills for 10 seconds. Scout is an offensive and stealth hybrid where you're hidden from the minimap and compass when you get bullet kills. And Captain is a stealth support specialty that charges your field upgrade with stealth kills, though that wasn't elaborated on if it includes perks like a sort of ghost or ninja, if those exist, or if it's something like suppressor kills or something else. We have new perks coming along with Black Ops 7. Networked will share buffs with teammates. Looper allows you to loop your score streaks. That might be a crutch perk for me if I take something in like a perk greed or something. Tactical Sprint will allow for tactical sprint as the name suggests. Agility is returning, which increases move speed and recovery times. And Gung Ho returns, which is firing while sprinting. One cool thing though with this game for perks is that Specialist Bonus is going to make its debut in a Treyarch game. Historically reserved only for Infinity Ward titles and Modern Warfare games more notably, though in other games as well, Specialist is going to be a wild card where you can get a perk at 200 score, 400 score, and 600 score, and then at 1200 you have all of the perks. So
that's interesting that it's going to be a wild card. So that means that if it's a wild card, that means you can still have kill streaks? Am I tripping? Because wild cards only affect your perks. They aren't tethered to your kill streaks. So you're telling me you can get 1200 score? It's no way though, right? It's no way. It's got to take over kill streaks, right? There's no way you can have essentially perkaholic and then have a fucking chopper gunner. Can I curse? I mean, this is my show. I'm gonna do what I want. But it's no way, because see, the reason I'm saying that is because it has score right here. So I feel like this would take over kill streaks. I feel like if you're going to, you have to substitute something. There has to be some sort of give and take. There's no way you can just not have kill streaks and this.
That's your Specialist Bonus at that point. And then finally, in terms of loadout discussion here, one thing that is definitely cool and nice is we're going to have a weapon build sharing feature with this. This allows you to directly share builds that you have with your friends. You can send weapon builds directly to them. Each gunsmith build will have a specific code for that build that you can either send directly or read off, and your friends can input that build code to get the exact same build as what you have. Super cool feature in my opinion. This is something that, breaking it down a little bit further, it is unique, but it's also one of those things that, like, it's a mathematical based thing. So if I create a build with 5 attachments, don't tell anybody about it, but somebody like you build the same gun with the same 5 attachments, that code will still be the exact same at that point. So it's based off of combinations of attachments and weapon build itself. So you can make the same build accidentally as somebody else and get the same code. It just makes build sharing much easier. Now, one caveat with this is that it does still have restrictions in place. So if it is something like you don't have all the attachments unlocked, you'll have those restricted and you won't be able to take those into game. Right. And same thing if you try and import a build code for like ranked play or something where there may be attachment or weapon restrictions, those will still be taken into account as well. Now, as for your maps and weapons with the launch here, launch maps, we're actually going to see 16 6v6 maps, which was more than Black Ops 6 had, and only 3 are returning from Black Ops 2 for launch, those being Express, Raid, and Hijacked. There was that rumor for a long time that all of Black Ops 7 would be remasters from Black Ops 2, akin to Modern Warfare 3 being the Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps, but that's not the case here actually. We'll also have 2 skirmish maps, which are 20v20 mode maps from Avalon, so those being directly cut here from this, and that's also where that combat role will come into play, because they're the sort of ground war maps, though not quite. Like it's larger scale combat, but not to the extent of ground war that we've seen in recent years since Modern Warfare 2019. Surprisingly, there was also no mention of gunfight or face-off, and so far no maps for 2v2 play have been mentioned. So I'd be curious if that's coming post-launch. I mean, Cold War dropped that at Season 1, so it's definitely possible. Yeah. They did explicitly say a huge Season 1 plus post-launch offering with more 6v6 maps, Black Ops 2 classics, and more. So personally, I'm a bit skeptical still, so I wouldn't be surprised if they used what they did in Cold War as a way to justify a massive launch for Season 1 when it comes to map quantities, when in reality, they dropped 4 maps that are super small for 2v2 and face-off play. Okay. So that could be something that happens again, but I'm also not going to jump to conclusions and get ahead of myself. Weaponry, you end up having 30 weapons at launch day, which is relatively small compared to recent years, which is interesting. There are a few classics that are returning: the Peacekeeper Mark 1, M8A1, the VS Recon, which is meant to be inspired by the DSR, the Eagle, which is inspired by the Rampart, and the Puma, which is inspired by the PDW. One part that was very interesting to me was that Black Ops 6, I think they mentioned like half a dozen weapons or so were never seen in a Call of Duty title before, which is cool, but Black Ops 7 takes that even further, offering 16 weapons that have never been seen in the games before. So over half the launch weapons will be entirely brand new weapons for the franchise, which is pretty cool, I think. But okay, if you know me, you know we're going to talk about weapons. We have to talk then about camos.
Got to.
The camo hub will be returning on day 1, so you can track all your progress across all of your different modes here that we have for camo progression. But this time within Black Ops 7, there's 16 mastery camos for all modes. And actually, that's not even it. We'll get to that in a second. But 16,
tell me more.
Where are those coming from? Are we adding another tier of camo in? Well, no. But we are going to see the 4 mastery camos for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone again. And then campaign for the first time.
That's such a
As we touched on, there is that sort of end game progression and end game zone that is basically Modern Warfare Zombies in a campaign element that you can end up just having a sandbox experience. And again, we'll break this down a lot further in a future video in the coming days, but you're going to have mastery camos for campaign as well. So you have 16 mastery camos to work with in this game, which is kind of crazy to consider and is going to keep a lot of people very busy.
Yeah,
your prestige is going to be classic prestige returning. It said prestige is 1 to 10, level 55, and then master prestige to level 1000 again. So you're going to have that same mastery progression system we had within Black Ops 6.
I love this, right? This is one of my favorite features they did in BO6. I loved to prestige back in the day. Prestiging back in the day is literally what it's called. Like, you felt like you did something, man. And I love now that you don't have to. Because back in the day, to unlock more custom class slots, you had to prestige. Or you were like hard stuck at save. If you didn't go past first prestige, you only had 5 custom classes. Now you automatically get like 10. And then it's like you don't even need that many. The truth of the matter, you do not need that many slots anyway. But to be able to do this, I love roaming around and I'm like, bro, I am level 500 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like you feel good about yourself from prestiging. That's my personal opinion. I hope they never take this away. I hated the seasonal prestige. I hated it. Shit was awful.
And the weapon prestige is going to be a returning feature here, but with even more to do with it. So this is something that for those that remember back in the day, you could prestige your weapon, it would relock everything, and you could go through the level grind again for a couple of different things. It depends on the game, but things like clan tag, etching, I think a kill counter was in there for one game or two. I think Black Ops 3 had that last. But for this, you're going to be able to level up weapons to their max level, prestige them, which relocks all of your attachments that you have to re-unlock again, except optics. Those will stay unlocked. Level it up again, prestige again, and then grind out to hitting max level and enter into weapon prestige master. So what this looks like more readily available to describe is first prestige after you max out your weapon level the first time. You enter prestige 1, you'll get a unique prestige attachment and a weapon camo. Now, unique prestige attachments will only be applicable to that gun that you unlocked it for and can apparently drastically alter the way they work. We didn't get any specifics from our briefing on what they'll include, but I almost think of them like the fire mods from what we saw in Black Ops 4, where maybe it's a wildfire mod for like a Spitfire or very fast firing SMG, or something like the S6 Stingray with the Impact Blast mod, or the Maddox with the Echo Fire. I'd imagine it's something like that, but they didn't give us any specifics in full transparency. Second prestige, you'll end up getting a weapon charm and another weapon camo. And finally, at Prestige Master, once you enter into that sort of third prestige, ranking up the weapon to the max level once again, you will automatically go on to the Prestige Master grind for this, which will take, let's say, a weapon's max level is 38. You'll then automatically enter into 39, upwards of 250 is the max level. So you'd have to go over 200 more weapon levels to hit Prestige Master on it, and once you do, you get a Mastery camo that can be applied to any weapon. Each weapon will have a unique Prestige Master weapon camo that then you can cross-apply to any weapon you'd choose to do. So that is something that is, I think,
bro, that is a W, bro. Grinders, where are y'all at right now? Dog, that sounds incredible. What? That sounds like so much to do. That sounds like so much replayability. Bro, I'm mind blown. That sounds incredible. That sounds like so much to do. It sounds like so much. I love that. I loved everything I just heard. That's incredible, man. Holy, we might be eating good. If you are a completionist, you might be eating good this year.
I think really cool.
If
and
these
adds
maps
a lot
are
of
good, bro, we're
replayability
eating
to
good.
the weapon leveling grind. Now, how much that will be appealing to the average player, who knows? But it's something that will be there. So a lot of
It's going to appeal to the average player. It is. You know how many times I've gotten into rank play matches and Warzone lobbies, and they were like, people were like, "Oh, dude, I'm picking up your gun, CJ. You just died." Like, and I don't even know the person. They're like, "Oh yeah, Coastal, you died. I'm picking up your gun because you got the zombies camo," because they didn't grind for it. They were just like, "Bro, this is dope as fuck. Like, I might go for this. Like, this looks incredible." This is going to appeal. Imagine you have the mastery camo for, say, the Python is in the game, the 6-shooting, the revolver, and you put that on like your M4 or your PDW or your M8. Like, someone's gonna be like, "Where the hell did this camo come from?" And then it's like, "Oh yeah, bro, that's like the unique mastery camo, level 250 camo for the Python." And people are gonna be like, "Bro, what? You grinded that?" And they're like, "Yo, I might have to do these or something. Like, this is dope." Bro, this right here is a W. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, the truth of the matter is people, okay, let me tangent for just a second. Stop selling skins in the game. You know what? Don't stop. You can keep selling skins in the game. If you put camos in the store, it's GG's, bro. It's GG's, bro. They'll make so much more money if they just sold weapon camos that can go on any weapon. I'm so serious. If they sold universal camos in the store versus selling a skin in a first-person shooter game that you only see when you get killed, you don't even see it. You just see your gloves. That's it. And you see yourself in the pregame lobby. Sell universal camos in the store. I am telling you now, man, people will buy that shit because I would probably be one of them, especially if it's badass. I'm just saying, if you don't want to make them a mastery camo, that's fine. That's fine. You don't want to make them an event camo? I know, y'all have departments for this. You guys have creative people. You guys have graphic designers and all that stuff that can create camos. Y'all create camos every single year. Sell some in the store. If you want to sell something that is actually useful. I'm just saying, man. This right here is a W. I love that you can grind for this. But if they sold camos in the store instead of like all these wacky skins, this right here, I'm telling you, would take off, bro. I'm telling you, it would take off. Real talk.
Stuff to work towards with camos this year that, as a camo grinder, very much so looking forward to seeing how that all works out. And the final thing we'll talk about in this video, because we are quite deep into this with discussion.
Yeah, so
again, we'll break down a lot more here in the coming days, a lot more in depth for specific topics, either that we covered here or other things that we haven't quite covered yet. But the last thing I want to touch on is that Carry Forward will return, but with a slight twist. So what I mean by this is that your XP tokens and your Gobblegum will be returning on day one. So whether you want to rank up your weapons or soldier prestige faster on day one to try and speed through some of these prestiges in the classic leveling system, or get your weapons max leveled, or even grind out those weapon prestiges, you can. Same thing with Gobblegums. Those will transfer into your zombies experience on day one. However, they detailed, and again, we don't have full specifics. This might be clarified in a blog post coming as of when this video is published. But from what they told us, everything else will be coming at Season 1's launch. So there should be this window in time where you do have something that is era specific to 2035 and shouldn't be something that's too out there in terms of goofy skins or anything like that. Yes, the Vault Edition skins are kind of goofy and out there, but just like Black Ops 6, for the most part, the launch window was era specific. 90s themes, you had camos that were more believable than not. Obviously, you had Dark Matter and Nebula, which, yeah, they got a little crazy, but for the most part, everything was more grounded in that perspective. So I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing here now based off that, having Carry Forward apply on Season 1's launch, not on day one. So bear that in mind. Again, there's probably more breaking down here that we'll touch on in the future if there is a blog post to accompany this, but for the time being, Carry Forward, that's what we know about it. And that's multiplayer in a nutshell here for Black Ops 7. Again,
I'm
going
not
to be
too
breaking
happy
down
about
a lot
Carry
more.
Forward,
There's so much more that
honestly.
I would like to touch on, but we're
I think I
already
said something about this the other
15,
day.
16 minutes
I
deep
hope-
on this video. So in the
I
interest
hope
of your
that
time,
they,
we're going to wrap it up there. Let me know your thoughts down below.
back
Does
and
any of this
change
sound
this.
enticing to you? Do you like what you hear? Not so much. Drop
I
your thoughts.
love
If you guys
everything
enjoyed the
that I've
video,
heard
if you
except
found
for
it
the
at all
last part.
insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. Of course, if you are new to the channel,
The only thing
make
that
sure
should
you
carry
subscribe so almost
forward-
a single thing running all
sorry.
things Black Ops 7 and other FPS content going into the future. Honestly, I'm really excited to be covering 3 big games that I'm excited for here later this fall.
Yeah, same.
Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, and then
And
Black
Call
Ops
of
7.
Duty.
But
Yeah,
would love to have you in
me
the
too.
community for any and all of that. For now, though, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.
So go subscribe to Jordan for sure. We're at the 25-minute mark. Yes, I am super excited for everything we just heard. I am not excited for Carry Forward. They said that they are monitoring our feedback on how we feel about skins and Carry Forward. So I'm really hoping that they're actually serious about that and that they maybe take a step back. Maybe, I'm going to be real with you, since I don't play Warzone as much as I used to, if you want to carry forward those skins in the Warzone, I'm going to be real with you. I don't care. I do not care. I don't. And multiplayer, bro, leave it alone. Just don't. Just don't bring it. Don't bring it. Like the guns and stuff, there's no reason there's going to be 300 guns on Season 1's launch. And it's going to break the game. It's just going to. It's going to absolutely obliterate the game, and they're going to go on holiday break, and then we're going to be screwed. That's why I'm hoping that I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. Yeah, but the other things that are carried forward, your gobblegums, all of your tokens, your battle pass, double XP and double weapons XP, I'm completely okay with that. That sounds fantastic because I have so many. And COD points. COD points should always carry forward, 100%. Those like 4-ish things, 4 or 5 things should always carry forward. Everything else, bro, leave it in the past. If people want to use those skins and those guns, go and play those titles. It's on the Call of Duty hub. Like, bro, like literally go play them. Go play those titles. That's fine. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, hit that subscribe button for me, and spread love and kindness. And I will see you guys on the next video whenever I make it. Bye-bye.